You know, I was originally planning for this video to be about the Castlevania fighting game for the Wii, but then this game came out, so I guess I'm going to talk about this instead, and I'll just have to wait until next time. So bye bye Castlevania Judgement. Now, I was always interested in this game since it was revealed, not for the same reason as I am now, but due to appearing to be a ARG or promotional type material for something. I personally was thinking it was going to be for the upcoming Supermassive game, the Dark Pictures anthology, so thinking it kind of PT to Silent Hills type deal. The reason being the similar art style with the girl in the promotional render looks a little bit like Sam from Until Dawn. This would also kind of be up their alley as they did that kind of YouTube Choose Your Own Adventure series. And it actually is in a sense, funnily enough. Just instead of for any book or movie or product or game or whatever, it's instead for the US Department of Health and Human Services to combat smoking and vaping. Excuse me, what? Yep. I don't get why they do stuff like this. I don't, and I've never smoked in my life. So maybe on some level it is effective. But the only one of these programs that has ever had an impact on me is the Dare Lion, Darren. And even then, it's not because it was necessarily good at teaching me not to smoke, but because he started as my sexual awakening as a furry. Anyways, what actually is this game and what do spooky wheelchairs and the like have to do with smoking? Well, let's start off with the title, One Leaves. The game is a Saw-esque maze with you and 3 other characters competing to escape, and only one of you is able to leave. A pretty on-point title. Well, this is in reference to the fact that only 1 in 4 teens can quit smoking. And while I imagine that information is useful to someone who has not started, the problem with that is you're also going to discourage people who have already started, because they learn that information and can probably be like, well, why should I even bother? There's such a low chance of me actually succeeding. Before moving on to the actual gameplay, I also want to point out on the title screen it proudly proclaims that this is based on a true story. Based on a true story. Come on. I get it. A lot of people, especially teens, are stupid and get tricked by the whole based off a true story thing. But this is not a grift you're going to be able to pull off on this one. Sorry, but it's not going to work. So you find yourself and 3 of your friends in this weird school hospital hybrid, and you're all in these cages when a guy tells you about how only one of you can leave, yada yada yada. Basically your goal is to try and solve a couple of puzzles as quickly as possible and reach the end of the maze. And one thing about this game I did actually appreciate is the puzzles are different every time. So the whole thing is kind of random. With that said though, the puzzles themselves are not very good. The pool does not seem to be that large. And I wish they had spent that time on the game itself. Because aside the fact that it looks like Half-Life 2, it runs really badly. Like single digit frame rate. Or at one point I thought my console was going to crash because it got down to literally no frames per second. So that was fun. And oh yeah, there's actual crashes as well, despite the fact that it's only 10 minutes long. So very good game. As you can tell, the game is just so unbelievably subtle with your only way of being harmed, and even then just your stamina, comes from smoke. And it gets increasingly subtle about halfway through, once you start seeing disembodied lungs coughing, blackened lungs, diseased teeth, etc. At one point there's literally a pun about an iron lung.
Looks easy, right? Just turn on all the lights. Solve this one, and you get a prize. Right over there, in that iron lung.
If this is all flying over your head and you need something just a little bit more overt, don't you worry. The achievements have got you covered. My personal favorite being one more out of the pack, which you get by completing the game 20 times. Do you get it? It's in reference to the fact that packs of cigarettes come in 20. Like, think about this for a second. What about learning that do they think is going to put teens off of smoking, right? Like, if I was a teen and I heard that, I'd be like, oh, so I spend $7 or $8 or so and I get 20 of these things I like. That's not a bad value. I don't even get like 20 sticks of gum in a pack. It's all silly. All this is foolish. There are better ways to educate people. Like, if you're going to at least do this, at least bring back Darren the Lion and have him bang Lola Bunny. Well, sorry. Sorry about that. I had my script for this video on top of my slash fiction. This is embarrassing. Yep, that's the end of the video.
Yo!